Alright, I believe the mic is good to go now. I hope so. Let's hope. Of course, no one's watching anymore because I screwed that up a bit. But hey, maybe people will start picking it back up. So, I will continue from the top. So where we left off was in episode 14 was we had some crazy mechanoids fall from the sky and attack the base. I was not 100% prepared because people had to scatter to get in position. A lot of the fighting happened in the hallways here. As you can still see, there's a giant hole in the ceiling here where it occurred. I'm gonna build the roof. So that was a pretty nasty fight. And not so ideal. This is the first time I will be streaming the episode rather than just recording it, and I think I'm going to do that for the rest of the Birth of the Nation series. It's definitely more fun for me. So initially I'm going to try to clean up some of the aftermath of the mechanoid raid. That is my top priority, is getting all that tidied up. So I'm going to break down the 3 mechanoids that attacked me. And previously I was streaming and the audio from my mic wasn't being recorded properly, but I did suffer a pretty horrible power problem. So I'm going to sort of read into the future here and fix that said problem. So I had 2 batteries fail on me from my battery network, and as a result, when I had a power surge, I lost all of my batteries. I lost all the power, rather. So I'm just getting a little bit ahead of that possibility by separating at least this network off from the grid. That should help. That will keep me from losing all of my my power. Keeps the grow lights on. So what I was doing in that previous stream before it got screwed up from the audio was stripping all the floors off the bedrooms. I'm going to continue doing that. As you can see. I'm still reeling and tidying up from that nasty raid. Replacing all sorts of things that were destroyed. So first off, let's put the billiards table back in. I have the cloth for it, so I don't need to worry about that. I'm pretty sure I have the cloth. I should have 80. Yeah, 120 over there. But I want to make sure... Oh, beavers. Well, beavers are tasty, I guess. Alright, Jeremy, you're a good crafter, constructor. You will do the billiards table. I want someone that's good at constructing to do the table because my last table sucked. I think it's the nicest way to say it. It sucked. So this gets my bedrooms a little higher quality, which is nice. That keeps people less on edge. I haven't had a lot of issues with mental break recently, but I don't want to push my luck. Gaz has a lot... Oh, you are just growing. Yeah, he has a lot of cleanup to do. And as you can see, he's been making snow clearing his priority. So I do have a nice corridor of no snow around quite a bit of my base. I'm going to see if I have... Yep, that whole corridor is all finished. It's very nice. That'll help navigate or let my people run around the base quickly. So another thing I wanted to do was to create an unbearably cold zone here and use some of that hot air to pump right back into my base. So this is a bit nasty looking. But let's see if this works. So I'm going to put a slate door here and pump out all of the hot air. Or all of the, yeah, I guess it's not hot air. I mean, it's already cold in there, but all the air out of this zone. The reason for it is this is an overhead mountain that I cannot remove the zone from. And if let me just create a slate wall there. If I super cool it, if I get an infestation, they will just die from the temperature, and I won't have to do much in the way of killing them. They'll just die on their own, and I'll get free insect jelly. Now that's the thought. I've never really done this before. So, oh, solar flare. So it could backfire on me pretty badly. I don't know. Time will tell. It would be pretty funny if it does backfire and I get a giant infestation. But that's part of the fun here. So just to confirm, making sure the mic is indeed working. I don't have my second monitor hooked up right now, so I don't see your responses unless I tab out, which, of course, pauses the game briefly. Oh, this door. Why is that not being powered? Interesting. Well, I'll just run a little cable to it. So I do need to make sure I don't run the risk of getting my hunters, you know, annihilated by animals. That's something I have to keep an eye on. Devastation should be helping Teddy out soon because Teddy's been his trainer, but I do need a second. Oh, alright, good. Solar flare done. I do need a second animal to escort Bray. I don't really want to run the risk of having Bray being mauled by a bear or something. However, if she was to be mauled, since she doesn't do dumb labor, it wouldn't be a huge loss. But you know, I don't want to throw people away if I can help it. All right, so this granite door is already connected again. I don't know why it was lacking power before, but whatever. That's fine. So Bray and Teddy are just about done hunting. I don't think there's not much else left out there to hunt. So I might actually take them off hunting for now, just so that I don't run the worry of being attacked by a wild animal while well outside of the base. I have a bunch more carpet. Not enough for a full room, but almost. So I'll get that going. Gaz here has a lot more cleanup to do. Most of my rooms are awful right now because he is not tidying up as much as he should. He is growing instead. So I'm actually going to take Gaz off of growing for now. Prioritize him just to be the cleanup crew. I don't know why he became my janitor, but he is the janitor. Alright, so now that's back to very impressive, as is the rec room. That should help a little. And he's clearing snow. Now, I'm just going to increase the roof zone here a little bit. Soon I'll have these built. I don't have a heck of a lot of components, but it's going to be worth doing anyway. So let's create a snow clearing zone. So I don't have to walk on snow. Snow is slow. And once this is super hot, I'll just plop a vent here and maybe vent my farms together. So I think minus 100C should pretty well kill them. So I'll leave a 5 temperature gap on either side. And it is not super cold yet, but it's at least colder than the ambient. I'm not actually, until I get an infestation, I don't know what their temperature tolerances are, so I might need some more AC, pumping more of this out. But indoors here, it is warming up, which is nice. Not quite enough. Oh yeah, it's pretty warm. So let's vent that. Vent that around the base. You can even vent it into the hallways. So that'll be pretty sweet. Yep, that's getting cold. I forgot I was in Celsius, so I was like, negative 34 Fahrenheit. That's not brutal, but yeah, in Celsius it is. Maybe eventually I'll have a 2-computer system so I can answer some questions while I play, but, you know, don't want to busy my brain too much. So, this zone here, now that my battery network is doing a little bit better, I'll plop back to being sown and growing. I really want Teddy to level Devastation up a little bit more so that he can haul only one more and I'll get there. So close. Ah, not quite yet. Gaz should be shoveling snow. So he's created a very nice corridor all around the base. I'm actually going to expand this here to be too wide, but all around the base in order to allow for quicker movement around the periphery. As you can see here, these heaters now, some of them don't need to really work so hard because of all this cold air or hot air that's jade. Oh, okay. I'll take some jade. I didn't know it was there. That's pretty cool. All this hot air that is being pumped in, being vented around. I guess I will create another vent here. I don't have a lot of steel left, but there's certainly a lot of plasteel to dig up around the base, which is nice. So if I ever run into steel problems, I can just go to town, digging it all up. Now, I am working on deep drilling. Deep drilling I will get done soon. I'm thinking of doing vitals monitor and stuff like that first, but I'm just upgrading these bedrooms. So now bedrooms are in the sort of good normal range rather than the bad range. I think this one would be good if it didn't have dirt in it. I'll clean up the dirt and see if that's true. Slightly impressive. So we have slightly impressive, slightly impressive, slightly impressive, and decent, but, you know, it's a work in progress. Jade. I'm excited about the jade. I don't think Holder is a good enough artist to... No, he's not really a good enough artist to bother having him craft in jade yet. But what I can do here is tell Tusk to go back on slate crafting, because I am full up on slate blocks. You know, just rip through all these slate blocks, and therefore I'll be able to haul some of this extra slate out of my eventual entrance zone. And Holder will put that slate to good use in art. So let's see. Looking at my batteries, they are filling up, but slowly, but they're filling up. So I'll leave the lights on, the grow lights. Ooh, some elk. Settled right back here. I'll just queue that up to hunt. So all the people that are in the stream, if you're wondering, yes, I will put this into the video playlist eventually once it's done. So if you've missed something, you can go back and rewatch it, or I'll try to recap each episode. I've been trying to do that. Sometimes I sort of forget the big things, but last episode was pretty much just that Scyther attack. I mean, that was the largest thing I had happen. This episode, if I was to summarize it so far, it would be hunting and carpets with a superior billiards table. I didn't realize it was superior till just now, but that's pretty awesome. I don't know if it makes it any more fun, because I didn't really check the entertainment factor of my last one, but I'm going to assume it's better somehow. I don't know how a nice billiards table makes... Well, I suppose if you have like a really dimple-dented billiards table, it would not make for very fun billiards. So I suppose I can kind of understand. I'm going to expand my AC network here to really ensure a quick murder of said bugs. So I am destroying some things and changing this around. It is a lot of steel to be using for this purpose, but I really don't want to have to fight an infestation if I can help it. And free jelly wouldn't hurt. I wouldn't be upset by getting a whole bunch of free jelly. So that is the motivation there. Looks like now here's a fun fact: a desire path is the path that people want to walk between 2 points. That usually, when you refer to a desire path, it means that that path wasn't paved. I'm sure everyone maybe isn't familiar with the term, but like if you have a paved path, but then a dirt path is, sort of more as the crow flies, more of a direct path, and people walk on it so much that they create like a deep path out of it. That is what a desire path is. Now, why I know that, I have no idea, but as you can see, my civilians here, my colonists, have decided that this is the desire path. They want to walk just a straight line. I don't blame them, so I am providing them with a desire path of plowed territory. So the one thing I have to make sure is that this doesn't become superheated from all the AC output. So far it isn't, but that is a concern of mine. I do have to keep an eye on that. If that was ever a problem, I could just turn off the vent or wall it off or something, but yeah, that is something I have to keep an eye on. I do have some more cloth. Looks like I'm getting these floors done pretty quick. Some pretty nice bedrooms. They're all like sort of 51, 54, slightly impressive, but that does help. It's a little bit of a boost. Once Holder creates some more large art, maybe I'll even make smaller individual statues for everyone. Now that's a heck of a lot of work, but not that bad of an idea. Alright, so I'm going to put Teddy and Bray back on hunting, because I have a bunch of animals just kind of like sitting outside. Might as well kill them off for meat. I have whittled down my vegetable supply, so what I think I'm going to do here is not allow resowing of, and just immediately put this to rice. Not allow resowing of this zone, which I will probably make corn or something. And that should fix my... I mean, I have a lot of vegetables. I still have hundreds, but I surely have a lot more meat than I have vegetables. This last... Alright. Some cargo pods of Hyperwave. They're a bit far out, but whatever. I'll pick them up when I can. I've got some silver ore and compacted steel up here. So now that once I create let's... That's going to be something you'll have to do constantly, so let's disallow that. Now this should be getting really cold up here. Got 5 ACs just pumping that heat out. Which means the temperature here is actually pretty balmy. 23. I'm going to reduce this to 21. 19 and 21. So now the 21 doesn't even have to run. It is warm enough from the vented heat to keep these heaters on minimum, which is pretty awesome. I don't think that's the case down here or here, but up here at least it will be running on minimum some of the time. The temperature here is not getting that much lower though. So I'm going to suspend these slate blocks. Okay. Where'd that blow up? Wake everyone up. Flick on the backup power supply. Put out this fire. Things will happen. Things of that nature will happen. Luckily, I had already accounted it to happen, so I did have a nice backup power supply waiting for when it did. And it did. Alright. So let's plant some corn there. I'm going to actually make this into 2 different zones. This is a fertile zone, which grows at a different rate as the rest of the zone. Oh, and of course, all that work undone. I thought it would create a new zone, but it didn't. So I'll probably put rice in there and corn elsewhere. So I'm going to finish off growing that cloth, or cotton rather. But I'm going to immediately just start planting rice in there. Of course, I don't have any growers with a high priority for growing, but I'm almost finished with the cotton I need, as everyone has a nice carpeted bedroom at this point. So you can see Teddy is trying to contribute to my steel stockpile, which I have like no steel right now, so that's not a good idea to be steel deficient. And I'm sure there's some compacted, yeah, here's some compacted machinery that I could mine. And certainly there's more around the map, which I should get quickly. Alright, so Tuska's back on research. She's almost done with medicine production. Next will be vital monitor. I do need a drug lab, which I'm not sure where I want to put it. I might just put it here once I have the components, or I might put it in its own building, but I would need a building for it, like an offshoot. So I'll have to brainstorm that. Ray and Gaz trying to go at it. Ray being the flirter. She got turned down. Oh, dead man gear. We can do better than that. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, let me check. A lot of people wearing dead man armor, as you can see. Or dead man toque. There really needs to be a way to turn that stuff off permanently, you know, so that you never wear it, you never pick it back up. You just store it to sell it. Tattered. And alright, that about does it. I'm going to start hauling this stuff individually so I can disallow it the moment it hits the my stockpile. Alright, so that's not allowed. Neither is that. Shepherd's Hall on the Toque. Not allowed. Alright, now I'm going to go through their needs again and make sure no one has... Alright, there we go. Fix that. I'm going to double check that there's nothing in the outfits that say prohibit dead people stuff, but no, there isn't. As you can see. There's nothing. There really needs to be a checkbox, kind of like how a Lao Routen was, of not allowing that stuff, because it's... Oh man, you really just... Alright, so let's... They really are trying to wear toques like crazy. So I'm gonna make some toques here with tusk. Because my people will keep putting on crappy toques for dead people, or from dead people. And I can do better than that. So I will do better than that. First one out is Superior. Not bad. Another Superior one. Making cloth toques. Which is fine. I'll keep the leather. And a good one. Alright, let's check their needs, make sure no one's... Yep, you still are. How about you put that down? Now, to my knowledge, I don't have any wool. No, I only have leathers. So, I'll just make it out of cloth. That's fine. I'll just keep checking their needs until they're done wearing the dead people stuff. There is a little bit of a... Alright, I'm urgently hungry, so let's fix that. There's a little caveat to it, which is that all of these toques can actually make them too warm, which is a separate problem, which is kind of funny. Sagaz looks like he's cleaned up most of the base now. Let's start replanting corn and rice. Batteries are still not really filling back up, so actually I'm going to turn the lights off there and here until things are like replanted a bit more. I'll have this be corn as well. So corn, rice, corn, and rice. And they'll just plant over the crops that already exist. I don't need any more cloth. I already have 200 surplus, so I'm good for a while. Holder, you just finished some art. Let's install it. It's very impressive to extremely impressive. Well done, Holder. And I still have plenty of slate blocks left over. So I think once my rec room becomes extremely impressive, I'll start working on the bedrooms. It's funny to have like a giant surplus of plasteel, but have my regular steel be really hurting. There we are. I was wondering where he was. I'm obviously component deficient, but eventually I'll have some component assembly researched. I'm just going to do the vital monitors for now. So as I kind of alluded to, I really want a drug lab. I don't want my base to look any more like a penis than it already is. People have been laughing at it. Thank you, people. Not appreciated. It's just... It's the way I was born. No, it's just the way it is. The way it looks. So actually, don't build that yet. That's probably enough room for a drug lab, and I'm going to lay the walls out first so that I don't kill these crops that I've just sown. Yes, you are so fat, I can't see your mood. Oh, heart attack. Alright, that's pretty serious. He has quite a few heart attacks pretty often. Teddy is the best doctor. And he's awake. Hey, look at that. Doctor on call. That works for me. Let's get Brio some medical attention, and boom. He is as good as new. Now, one thing I've never done, which I'm curious about, is if I can, like, replace his heart. I'm sure a quick Google search could answer that, but my worry is that, I guess I'll figure that out. So I'm just about in a half an hour here. I'm going to play a little bit longer. Oh. Yeah. Let's end it on a marriage. Let's celebrate this marriage. Hey, Gaz, how about you clean up? I mean, that is your job, right? Let's have an extremely impressive... oh, yeah, look at that. Lovely. Extremely impressive marriage ceremony here. So people are standing around. Brio looks to be officiating. And they're going to be about as happy as you can be. I mean, look at this. I have done wonders for their mood. They are just elated. Of course, Shepard is feeling bad for no apparent reason. I think that's pretty typical amongst grooms. Yeah, a little jab to grooms having cold feet, but you know, it happens. There's my lovely marriage ceremony. Everyone in attendance. I believe everyone gets a little... Yeah, everyone gets a mood buff from it. Unfortunately, this wedding was not catered, and everyone is now feverishly hungry, ready to scarf everything put in front of them as fast as they can. So I'll end it with that. I'll end it with a lovely marriage, and I think I'm going to just stop the stream, start a new one for episode 16. So that will be coming up in just a second.